Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to make chicken enchiladas and salsa verde, which is one of my favorites, step by step, and the finished product will be delicious.
The ingredients you will need are 3 to 4 chicken breasts, depending on the size. This recipe will feed about 4 people, 4 adults. I'm using 3 large chicken breasts. You'll also need 12 corn tortillas, garlic cloves, 1 poblano pepper, which is that one, this one here, 2 jalapenos, 1 small tomato, half of an onion. I have the whole onion here, but I will only be using half. I have 8 tomatillos, which are these here, and you're going to have to peel them and rinse them before using. Also, for garnish, we're using queso fresco, which is easy to crumble and delicious, and crema mexicana, which is a white cream, not quite sour cream. It's a little bit sweeter, not quite as tart. And we're using cooking oil, salt and pepper to taste, and about a half a tablespoon of garlic powder. So let's get started.
In about 4 quarts of water, we're going to cook our chicken until it's cooked through. And you want to start off with cold water and bring it up to a boil so it could cook evenly. Once it boils, you can simmer it down and just wait until it's cooked through. While the chicken is going, we're going to go ahead and start our salsa verde, which I went ahead and peeled and rinsed the tomatillos, and I have put them in about a quart of water, and the temperature is medium. I'm going to go ahead and add the peppers, the poblano peppers, and the jalapenos, which I have already rinsed and gutted out the seeds and cut in pieces. And the reason why I took the seeds out is because that takes away some of the heat. Some people don't like the heat. I personally do, but that's another story. So we're going to go ahead and let this go for about 20 minutes. Once the chicken is cooked through, we're going to go ahead and take it out and let it cool off, because you're going to shred it, and if it's too hot, you're going to burn your hands. You could also use forks to shred it, and I'll show you how to do it, but I prefer to let it cool off for a bit before I get started on it. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and shred the chicken, which we have let cool off. That way we can work with it without getting burned. And all I really do is just break up the chicken, and the muscle fibers are going to just allow it to just come apart in stringy pieces, and that's what you want. Sometimes people cut them in cubes, sometimes people use forks, but I like to use my hands. And all you would really do with the fork is just use it and tear it apart this way. But my hands work just fine. Okay, now that we have all of our chicken shredded, it's time to work on our filling. What we're going to do is, in a warm saute pan, add half a tablespoon of oil. And remember the tomato and onion we cut up earlier? We're going to go ahead and add that. And to this, we're going to add salt, pepper, and garlic powder to taste. And we really just want to saute this until it's cooked, because the chicken's already cooked, so that's not going to take much. We really don't want to bite into the raw onion, so we're going to let it go for about 3 minutes or so. Now we're going to add our chicken. And we're going to just incorporate the ingredients that we just sauteed. So we're going to mix it until we could see onion and tomato throughout the chicken. Okay, so for our salsa verde, we're going to go ahead and drain the excess water and put everything in a blender. The tomatillos have enough moisture in them to make the sauce thick, so we don't need to add any of the extra water. Then to this, we're going to add 2 raw garlic cloves, and we're going to blend. Once we have blended the salsa verde, we're going to put it in a saucepan to just cook it off a little bit longer and kind of let the flavors mingle with each other, and we're going to season it with salt and black pepper. Okay, so now the chicken is ready to go. The salsa verde is ready. We're going to go ahead and cook our corn tortillas. And I have here about a half a cup of oil in a small saucepan. And it's at medium heat because I want it to be hot. And I have a plate ready for the cooked tortillas and some paper towels to drain the excess oil. So we're going to par cook them, which means partially cook them, because we don't want it to fry to the point where it's crunchy. We just want to cook it to the point where it's not raw and it breaks when we try to roll it. So it's going to take about maybe 5 to 10 seconds on each side, and then it's done. Here's the first tortilla, and one of the ways that you'll know that the oil's hot enough is that it immediately starts to bubble. So we're going to have it between 5 to 10 seconds on each side. Remember, we don't want it to be crunchy. We just want it to be cooked enough to be able to roll. And we're going to let the extra oil drip and go on to the next one. And flip over. Okay, so now what we're going to do is put the enchiladas together. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my tortilla and fill it with chicken. And you can do a lot of different ways, or a couple ways of plating. And right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do the rolled method. You could do them flat, which you would just, you know, put the chicken and then top it with the tortilla, more chicken, and no, today we're going to just do the rolled method, which is more, in my eyes, it's more traditional, and that's the way I grew up eating them. So there's my other tortilla, and more chicken. We're going to roll. See how it's not breaking the tortilla as it becomes more flexible. This one's kind of a little bit more done than this, but it's okay. It's still flexible, and we're going to use it. Because food doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be delicious. So now we're going to fold, and what I'm going to do is now I'm going to add the salsa verde, which has been cooked a little extra to just let the flavors cook together, and let the garlic and salt and the pepper cook with the peppers. Sometimes in different types of enchiladas, you can actually dip the tortilla into the salsa before plating, but I feel like this is, in my preference, better. So now we have the salsa verde, and we're going to add queso fresco, and you could do as much as you want as a topping. And then we also have the crema here, which we're going to use, and they're both dairy and they're both a little salty, so you don't want to go too much on either. And I put it in this dispenser because it's just easier to serve instead of having big dollops of crema everywhere. This allows me to do it evenly and makes it look nice. So now that we have finished, I'm going to go ahead and taste it. And I hope it... It's delicious. So thank you for checking out the link. That was my recipe for chicken enchiladas, and I hope you enjoy yourself trying it out as much as I did cooking it for you. Thank you.